With myself, and we'll sit around it. I want you to make her welcome, will you? Jana Wendt, here. Say hello. I want to embarrass you a little. You're even prettier close-up than you are on the screen.
I'm
Very nice.
embarrassed, and I hate stairs. I hate them.
Why?
I don't know how I ever made it down those stairs. They terrify me.
But
really.
that's a big...
Left or right, I hate them.
That's show business entrance, though, coming downstairs.
Yeah, I'm not
nicely.
used to showbiz entrances, really.
You're used to sort of sitting behind the desk and reading the things.
Yeah, or even walking through Haiti, you know.
Yes. For people that saw that, that was very good. But are you glad that the debut is over? I mean, this was the long-awaited event, I suppose, for you.
Yeah, I think I am glad. I think the three guys are so strong and so well known and so established and so terrific that a launch into a program like that's not easy. So yes, I'm pleased, but I'm happy I'm there.
How do they feel about sharing the spotlight?
Can't stand it.
They
No, they're terrific, really. I mean, it sounds like a cliche, and as though I'm telling you the things I should be telling you, but they've been sensational. It's not easy to welcome a stranger into
A
what is
successful
a family.
team, a
yeah,
successful
what is
family,
a family, really?
yeah.
And they did it, and I feel like part of the family.
Why a woman, all of a sudden, do you think?
Well, I don't know. That's what people ask me a lot. Sorry, it's not an original question, but
If I asked you the original question, we'd be
might
involved
be
in the
off
original
air.
sin. Yes,
Okay.
right.
Well, I think really that had 60 Minutes had three females, I would have thought that it was a little imbalanced, that they should have had at least one man. I don't think that a woman has anything extraordinarily different to a man. I mean, you may see it otherwise, but I think I think a woman has an approach to stories and to life, basically, that should be exploited on a program like that. And I mean exploited in the good sense of the word. And I think they've made a good decision.
Yeah, well, I should hope so. But why? I meant more than just a woman. I mean, was it their plan to find a woman, or did they find you and then say, hey, she'd fit in great in this program?
Well, I think you'd probably have to ask Gerald Stone that question. I think he would have been happy to find a woman and happy to have found one, because there is a little bit of an imbalance, isn't there? I mean, there are men and women in the world, and if it's an exclusively male team, then you think that maybe something's missing as far as your audience is concerned. So I think Gerald's happy that he did find a woman that, you know, fits the job.
And what about life on the road for a woman? I mean, you're surrounded, of course, by crew and things that go with you, but I mean, you are basically alone when you go out there. And,
Well, I don't feel very alone. I didn't feel alone on my first trip, which I thought was astounding. I had an all-male crew, a cameraman and a sound recordist that I'd never worked with before, and producers that I'd never worked with before, and I've never felt so welcome in my life. So I didn't really feel alone at all, and I don't expect to in the course of the next couple of years.
Is this what you wanted to do, or envisaged that that's where you were going in this direction?
Yes, I've always wanted to work in public affairs because it's a natural extension of news, basically, and it allows you, well, it's luxurious, basically. We have as much time, well, not as much time, but a lot of time to shoot stories. We can shoot a lot of film to get the best possible film results. It's a television reporter's dream, I guess.
How much reign do you have in picking the stories that you want to do? Do you do your own, or do they give you assignments?
It's a composite kind of effect. 60 Minutes does actually work very much as a team, so that a suggestion for a story can come from a researcher, a sound recordist, a technician on the program, a lowly reporter, a lowly producer, a lowly executive producer, anyone really. And if the story is found to be good enough, then it's researched, and if it is good enough, then I go off and do it, or Ray, George, or Ian go off and do it.
Are you a career lady? Would you consider yourself to be a career lady? I mean, there's never any talk about Jana Wendt in a romance. There's never any talk about
Yeah, I wonder about what men mean when they say you're a career lady.
Well, I suppose as opposed to a woman who wishes to make her life as a housewife and sort of
Oh, well,
dedicated
that's
to a
easy to
man, I think
answer. I don't particularly want to make my life as a housewife because I'm an awful house person. I'm awful.
Throw things around and do all
I
that.
live in chaos, right?
I never went there, but I'd like to visit it sometime.
I really do. I live in chaos, and so I think I'd be terrible in that kind of domestic situation. I'm not a career woman who wants to elbow her way through to things. I've never been that way, and I'm not that way now. I intensely enjoy what I'm doing now, and I think that's probably a good way to be because it gets results.
Well, do you ever think about children and family and that kind of thing?
I thought about them once, fleetingly, and dismissed
In a moment
the
of panic?
thought. In a
or was it
moment
just-
of panic. Yeah, I just don't. Some people are gifted for some things, and some women are sensational wives and sensational mothers, and that's what they do best, and I really admire it.
Don't you really, honestly, I say that too. I admire women who are really great mothers and raising their kids and doing all that. That's a very heavy job, and also one that's not quite as rewarding. I mean, you can go on television and they say, hey, great story last night, you know, but nobody ever says to a mother, hey, you changed that nappy terrific yesterday, you know. They
Well,
never do any of that.
I think the point is that you and I can say goodbye to our jobs at some point. We can finish work for the day or the year or the month and say, well, maybe that's almost over, whereas a mother never says, that's it. She always has the sort of work that she has to do, and that's something I don't think I'm too good at.
And what about your family? Your mom and your dad are still alive, and
Very much so.
well, I mean, what are they? Did they ever imagine that you were going to get into all of this? I mean, you know, fleeing from a European country and coming to an English-speaking country, a free world, a big cultural change and so forth.
Oh, it's an enormous cultural change. I guess that's what, that cultural change made me, where I'm very conscious of what they came from, I'm very conscious of their language, of their culture, and I was born out of that. So there's a lot of them in me, a great deal of them in me. I think, yes, they probably thought that I would always be involved in journalism. My father was a journalist in Czechoslovakia, and he still does freelance work here, so I think he always anticipated that I do something like that, although, you know, I think he doesn't quite know ever what I'm going to do next, but I think he's pleased about this.
Are you obstinate, strong-willed?
You could say that.
You are. Well, that cancels my next question. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it, and all the best of luck with 60 Minutes. And I watched you with a great deal of admiration when you were on that other channel, Channel 10, and I
Did you?
thought,
The
hello.
one that you made those comments about earlier in the show.
Yes, I did. You're not there anymore. You don't have to protect them if you don't want to.
I know, but I still love them dearly.
Do you? That's a good idea. Thank you. Jana, Wendt. We'll be back. Bert's going to talk to us, and the Bush Band will be here. Hello. It's going to be fun tonight.